those who don't know, Gene and I have been following the Superman Doomed series, and it pretty much started with the Superman and Wonder Woman love thing that's been going on for quite some time. And if you haven't been keeping an eye on that, well, then you need to go back through the comic book section and watch Gene's reviews, because he's been covering the whole Wonder Woman and Superman love thing that has been going on for quite some time, and it's been awesome. And so now it's pretty much led up into the Superman Doom series. Now this has been a testament to why comic books have been really hard to follow for me ever since childhood, because when it comes to Marvel and DC, I don't know why I do know why they do this, but it doesn't mean it's always a good idea. Because there are so many different branches of different comic book scenarios that are going on at the same time. I mean, you've got the Teen Titans, you've got Superman, you've got Action Comics, you've got Wonder Woman, Superboy, Nightwing, Batman. All of them have their own continuities, or at least not different continuities, but they all have their own stories going on presently within their respective universe. And when they decide to make a big story, whether it be the death and return of Superman, whether it be Superman Wonder Woman, whether it be Superman Doomed, for some reason they think it's a good idea to spread this story arc through all of the different pages, through all of the different storylines that are going on within their own universe. So let's say if you really didn't care for Teen Titans or anything like that, or if you really weren't a big Superboy fan, but you were a follower of Action Comics, well then you're kind of screwed, because there's a lot of story scenarios that do get covered individually through each one that are just as important. So if there's something that you didn't know, or you felt they didn't explain well enough, well, they probably did, but you didn't get Superboy, or you didn't know that it was going on because you're not a particular follower of those things. And it's always hard, because they rarely ever flat out tell you where the next story is going to continue, or what comic you should even bother to be looking for, because it could be an entirely different story that you don't even know exists. But that's pretty much how it is. And that's what's going on with Superman Doom. Like, it's going on through the Superman Batman, like, if you guys remember when I did a review of this a long time ago, yeah, like, Superman Doom is going through here, which Gene just did a review of on Superman Batman number 11. Like, it's gotten through Superman's own story, it's gone through Action Comics, it's gone through Superman Wonder Woman. It has gotten so out of hand, and now it has even gone through the Teen Titans, which this issue suggests. Like, if you're not keeping an eye on the Teen Titans issue number, the ones before this one, then you're missing out on what's going on. Well, shit. Well, damn. So, and that's my problem when it comes to comics, because there's so much going on at the same time that you really cannot keep up, and you really are out of the loop whenever they bring something up, and you're just like, whoa, something's going on over there. I wonder if they're going to explain that. What happened in my issues? They probably won't, because they're explaining it elsewhere where you think you should be, or you don't even know exists. So that's kind of a general problem I have with comics in general, is that some of them, if not most of them, are really hard to follow, because you just don't know where the next story is going to come. Like, more often than not, they are generous to at least give you a tip, like, keep an eye on Action Comics, or keep an eye on Teen Titans. Like, you'd think it's an advertisement, but no, it turns out that that's kind of the hint. Like, we're going to tell you something in Teen Titans. If you don't get Teen Titans, well, then you're going to miss out. Well, sorry. Alright, so anyway, this is the continuation of Superman Doomed. Now, if you've been following Gene with the Superman Doom, you know that Superman fought Doomsday, virtually won, but now has unfortunately been a curse on Superman where they're kind of becoming one. Superman is becoming Doomsday, in the sense of the word. And last time with Gene, he said that Superman has pretty much allowed himself to be arrested, and Steel, Wonder Woman, Batman, they all had an issue going on in the Phantom Zone. This pretty much continues where that left off, and it starts off with a Daily Planet newspaper cover where it talks about how the Fortress of Solitude has become the highlight of what's going on, because something big is going on there. Like, nobody knows what's going on, but something horrendous and earth-shattering is definitely going on, or did go on. Alright, so now this one covers a lot more with Superman, whereas issue 11, or with Batman Superman, didn't have Superman in it pretty much except for a minor flashback. This one is now with Superman. He's locked himself up. He's now hanging inside of an old prison that Lex Luthor has turned into a secret base with like the masterminds trying to figure out what Superman's problem is. Superman is of course tied up in chains now, as if any of that could hold him, right? Like, we all know that none of these are going to hold Superman. He could bust out at any moment if he wanted to. And so Lex Luthor, Batman, and a whole bunch of other characters like Cyborg, some scientists, they're all trying to work together to contemplate how can we reverse the effects of what's going on with Superman. Like, how can we get Doomsday out of there or stop the effect? And so they're all kind of stumped, and some of them are thinking to themselves, like, maybe if we took him here, we'd have had a better chance of developing a cure, because in some other areas, or some areas that we think, we have far better technology than what we're dealing with here. We could have worked with something. And of course Lex is like, yeah, I'll help, but I'm not happy about it. Like, you're not dying, unfortunately, but with what this Doomsday thing is doing to you, you're going to wish you were dead. And so while Superman's hanging there, he requests to see Lois Lane because he wants her to do something. So, excuse me. So Lois Lane and Wonder Woman, they meet up at an airport where they're about to meet Superman, or at least Lois Lane is. And Wonder Woman has something in her hand that deals with the last issue. I can't really remember what it was because I didn't touch that issue. So Lois and Wonder Woman are hugging because they know how much they both mean to Superman. Lois Lane is Superman's best friend, and Wonder Woman, of course, is Superman's gal. And they explain that, yeah, I was requested by Superman to show up here. Yeah, I know it's bad. He could cause the radiation or something that's going on, like, could cause a potential problem that could kill us all. But I have to go there. So Lois Lane shows up in front of Superman, and Superman wants her to do a specific job. Like, and throughout this entire thing, Superman is kind of thinking to himself, like, what's going on. Like, he knows he knows the situation is bad. He knows it's dire. He doesn't know what the outcome is going to be, but he wants Lois Lane to tell the world that Superman can no longer be trusted, and that is a big blow. To think that Superman, your greatest hero, can't be trusted because you don't know what's going to happen. So, right after the event where Lois tells him that, I don't know if this is a hallucination that he's having, or if Brainiac has somehow found a way to manipulate himself inside Lois Lane, but there comes like a little psychedelic moment where it's not happening in real time, but it's happening probably in the subconscious of either Lois or Superman, where a Brainiac version of Lois Lane, like you see on the cover of this issue here, is tormenting Superman and showing him the fatality of his choices and what he plans to do and what he should do and what he's not going to do. And it's kind of like an internal torment that looks like Lois Lane and Brainiac, like just ripping you aside from the inside. It's hard to say whether this is actually happening or if it's just his subconscious toying with him, or if it's Lois Lane's subconscious. Meanwhile, the hallucination shows the Teen Titans are in trouble on somewhere. So immediately Superman, in reality, though he knows it's not a good idea or safe, decides that he needs to bust out and help the Teen Titans. And of course Lex and Batman are kind of like, well, we know nothing. Lex is like, oh, I built this place myself. It's going to hold Superman. He's not going to go anywhere. And instantly Superman just busts out and flies away. And Superman's thinking to himself, of course, Lex is wrong as usual. Whatever. I need to go help the Titans. They're in trouble. And Batman's kind of looking at Lois Lane like, Lois, what's up? Like, Batman, of course, is on top of it. Like, he knows something went down just now. Like, this wasn't a coincidence. Something made him do this. Something made Superman just go out. And Lois is telling Bruce to drop it. Alright, so right from that, it instantly shows Superman flying towards the Teen Titans, who are fighting it's not Cinderblock, but it might as well have been. So it's, like, oh my gosh, hold on. I can probably get his name for you right here. Excuse me for a moment. Let's see. Oh, Detritus. Yeah, so Detritus is it's a mechanical being with no soul or life inside of it. So the Titans are trying to fight it off, and apparently it's not going too well. Like they're kind of losing. Like Beast Boy, who's now red, he's still cracking jokes like Beast Boy does. Cyborg is of course not there because he's trying to track down Superman from the Watchtower, and then Detritus decides to pull an all-out explosion and tries to. Let's see, what does he do? Yeah, that's pretty much what happens, is that he pretty much decides to blow himself up and take the Titans with him. But at the last minute, Superman comes in and he stomps him down. Now this part gets a little freaky because Superman is kind of like has this cocky look on his face, like did I save the day? It's kind of like what Bizarro would do, like did I save the day or what? Like, and he's got of course like the spikes coming at him like Doomsday, and he's got red eyes, like yeah, I'm badass, I know, right? Did I do it? And of course, instantly the Teen Titans are like, something's wrong. Something's wrong with Superman. Like, we know he kind of maybe saved us, but something's up. And Superman's got like a big smile on his face during this. But then immediately he recognizes that the Titans aren't down with him. Like, they see that something's wrong with him. They even announce it. But Superman doesn't take the chance, and he immediately flies away and he says, no, something isn't wrong with me. Everything is. Like, or like, hold on, what did he say? He said something else, actually. Oh, no, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, I was right. He said, something isn't wrong with Superman. Everything is wrong with Superman right now. And then he instantly flies off, and then that's it. And then it pretty much tells us that the next issue is going to take place in Action Comics number 32. So, definitely something went down here. Not much was accomplished here, actually, except for Superman was in captivity. He busted out, and we don't know what's wrong with him. But Batman's got a lead on Lois, thinking that maybe she did something, maybe she didn't, because that hallucination did definitely happen. Or I don't know if it was a hallucination or not. And all of the other scientists are trying to, like Cyborg, Batman, Lex, they're all contemplating how the heck we need to, what's our next move. So definitely not a whole lot got accomplished in this one, but it did move the story forward a bit because now Superman's on the loose. Overall, what did I think about it? Well, again, not a whole lot got accomplished. I mean, we see that Superman definitely has got a problem, and he knows it. But, yeah, it is kind of earth-shattering to think that we can't trust our Man of Steel, our superhero. So, overall, it was an enjoyable issue. You got to hear a lot of Superman's internal thoughts, what he thinks of the whole situation, what he fears, what he thinks is going to go down, what could potentially come from all this, as well as him trying to pretty much accept it and find a way around it, while all of the other guys are, of course, trying to do their best to see if they can counter it. So, overall, not an entirely great one, but it was pretty enjoyable to see the story move forward. I guess you could say it's like seeing, like for example, a Justice League movie, like any of the animated films, and you watch, and like in between the story, you watch just like 5 minutes of it, and that's pretty much all you're getting. Like, didn't accomplish a whole lot, but you did see the story move forward a little bit. So, overall, it was pretty enjoyable just to see what's going on. There's a hallucination going on there. So, it does make you raise an eyebrow. Like, what is going on? I hope the next issue is more informative. So, basically, this one left you with a lot more questions than it did answers. So, again, we're just going to have to wait until the Action Comics issue comes out, and then we'll continue from there. So, that's pretty much all we've got with this one. Oh, but there was a page in here that I thought was hilarious, and it's an advertisement for the Dorkly sort of thing. Let's see if I can find it in here. I thought it was hilarious that they advertised this. It's better to show you than to... Oh, here it is. The Dorkly video games as real life. Who is that? If you haven't figured it out by now, that is Luke Fonfabra from Tales of the Abyss. They've got a Tales character in a Superman comic. It's an advert, but that is awesome. So, thumbs up for that one. Anyway, guys, got a lot to do. Hope you enjoyed the comic reviews for today. Be sure to check back next week, as there's always something to look forward to. Subscribe and all the great stuff. See you next time.